Welcome to Streams of Income, hosted by best-selling author and entrepreneur Dr. David Powers, where we discuss streams of income, passive income, residual income, and even why there are dinosaurs and zombies in this intro. Fasten your seatbelts and get ready to dive in.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Streams of Income podcast. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you are willing to give me some of your time to listen to either a business lesson or an interview with an amazing entrepreneur. So once again, thank you for listening to the Streams of Income podcast. I hope you enjoyed this episode. All right, everybody. We are here with Miss Jackie Hollywood, and you can guess where she lives. But she is pretty amazing. I'm looking forward to this because I've been researching you a little bit since we booked, and you've done quite a bit. I mean, I talk about streams of income, and you've been all over the place with some really cool things. So before we dig into what you do now, if you will, I always like to let the guests do their own intro because that way I don't miss anything. But if you could do an intro and then tell us, I want to hear about first jobs. Like, what did you do when you first got a job? Like, did you mow yards or deal with black market comic books or anything like that? And then we'll get into where you are now.
Awesome. Like you said, I've done a lot. My very, very, very first job, believe it or not, I was about 8. I actually had to get a work permit from school and from the city because I was a fit model for Gap and Old Navy. So if you don't know what that is, it's basically like being a mannequin, a live human mannequin. You go into these little rooms and the people that work in the fashion departments, they sew things on your body to make sure that it's the right size for sale. So I did that for a few years, and it was really cool because once I turned 18, or even maybe a little bit before that, my parents took all that money that I earned from when I was little and put it in my bank, and I didn't realize how much money I was making back then because I was a kid. So that was really, really great.
So they didn't pull a Britney Spears and take all your money?
You know what, I think about that all the time. They could have, and I probably wouldn't even have known, but they definitely did not.
That's pretty cool.
To me. So that was my very first job. I've done a lot of stuff in between. I seasonally would dress up as an elf and take kids to sit on Santa's lap to take pictures at Macy's when I was younger. So a bunch of little random things like that. Up until I had started my career in radio, which is kind of where I went after that. So,
but it sounds like you've been in the limelight from day one.
I've kind of always, it's funny because when I was a kid and I was doing the fit modeling, I would stand in a room and there would be all these adults just looking and not really looking at me per se, but looking at my body and just we need to sew the sleeve a little bit longer. So you're right, actually.
Yeah. So here's a question then, because I do a lot of public speaking and stuff like that, and I'm a huge introvert. That's one of the reasons I started doing it. So are you extrovert or introvert?
I'm an extrovert as far as I'm not shy at all. And I could literally be on stage in front of a million people and be fine. But I need to recharge my battery very frequently. So I don't know if you call that an ambivert, because sometimes I really don't want to be around people and sometimes I really don't want to talk. But if I'm forced to do that, then I'm comfortable to do that.
Okay, that's kind of how I am, because it's the way I recharge that is the main thing for me.
And I think there's something with human design. I don't know if you're familiar with human design, but I'm a projector, and that's something to look into. It's very complex, but as a projector, you need a lot of downtime to recharge before you can kind of have that energy again. So that might be something to look into. Yeah,
that's pretty cool. All right, so moving on up into adulthood. I mean, your first big thing was in radio for a while, right?
Yeah, I was in radio for 10 years.
Okay.
So,
and are we talking regular just DJ kind of thing?
Yeah, well, I started out as an intern when I was in college at my favorite radio station. So it was really cool. It was the station I grew up listening to in San Francisco, 99.7 KMBQ. It was a top 40 station. And then as my internship was ending, they were like, we want you to stay here and hire you. We don't have a job though. Like we don't have an opening. So we're just going to make one.
Yeah.
So you're now an assistant producer. So I just became the first assistant producer.
Yeah.
And then I got a bunch of like little on-air segments that I would doing kind of like trending topics, hot topics. And then I would also do weather and traffic and all those types of things kind of starting out. And then I ended up getting my own afternoon slot on a station in the Central Coast. And did a little bit of radio in Phoenix and then came back to the Bay. And then eventually I was like, okay, I think I've done enough radio.
Yeah. Yeah. That's pretty cool. And so from there, you went to more hands-on, interviews, things like that, right?
Yeah, I started doing all those interviews and things like in my radio days, but I realized where things were going. I always want to be up with the times. Like right now, AI is in, so you kind of want to chase that, right? Like back then, content was becoming a thing.
Yeah.
Instagram, TikTok, like video, right? Like radio was not very video focused. It was very audio focused, which was cool. But I noticed that video short form content was coming up and I was like, well, I better get on that because that's the next thing. And so then I started doing content, working for different brands, being a content creator, and then doing social media and things like that. So I kind of just was always chasing like, okay, I better stay ahead of whatever the next thing is so that I'm not like left behind.
Yeah. Yeah. And see, I'm quite a bit older than you. So I remember the whole switch from radio to MTV. And of course, MTV is not even around anymore. And it's been a lot of changes and videos have just gotten steadily and steadily shorter.
Yeah, exactly. Now it's like 5 seconds and you don't even have an attention span for that.
Yeah, I know. But the weird thing is, and I'm the same way, my attention span has been shot, but I'll still listen to a lot of long form stuff because there's certain people I like. So it has to really be worth it.
Yeah, exactly. That's what podcasts are for. And, you have to really be able to find your audience, and there's an audience for everyone, for everything.
Yeah. Yeah. So tell us about your podcast. You're mainly doing the Dare to Overshare. That's your main thing now, or? Okay.
Yeah, I've had a few in the past that I kind of started and then stopped because either something wasn't right or it didn't feel right, or I got super busy. And then I finally now realized like, okay, I need to create something that I'm so happy with and so passionate about that like this is going to be my focus. So Dare to Overshare, here to stay for the foreseeable future. I'm currently working on filming season 3.
Yeah.
And I just love the podcast form. I think it's so fun because from the long form, you can take it and make it short form. So it's like you get that out of that. So it's really nice, as you know, obviously.
Oh, yeah. And you're mainly doing like on set, they're there with you filming, right? Not just like Zoom like this.
Yeah, I love the feeling. I mean, this is really great, but I just love the feeling of having someone here. And because I'm in LA, I don't know where you're based, but I'm in LA, so there's a lot of people here that are willing to come and be on camera. Yeah. It's a very, very LA thing to do. So I get a bunch of people that want to be on the show and aren't in LA, and I say, whenever you book a flight and you end up here, just let me know and we'll film. Because it's just that's just the way. And I want I have my set, and I just want everything to look a certain way. So.
Yeah. No, I'm in South Carolina, but if I get that way, I'll give you a call.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like the Gabe Green one, the fighter. I mean, I'm a Christian and I like to hit people.
Yeah, that one was a little bit different than what I normally do. I have a lot of content creators and singers and artists and things like that. And I was like, I want to get somebody who's just not really any of those things. And I watch UFC because my boyfriend likes it, and I sit and watch with him. And I was like, how cool would it be to get a UFC fight? I wonder if I could get a UFC fighter on to come on my show. Yeah. I'm like, my set is so pink. I don't know if they're going to be into it. Let me try, and I found one, and he's really cool. And now we're friends, and it's awesome.
Yeah. Now, did your boyfriend come and kind of fangirl while he was there?
Yeah, he lives with me, so he gets to be here through all of it, and he's now helping me with the production. So he's doing helping with the filming and editing and everything. So he was really excited actually to have him come.
Yeah, I mean, I would have just been sitting back there wanting to get pics and autograph and everything.
Yeah, for sure. It's definitely fun having people come over.
Yeah. So a lot of people podcast. I mean, I'm one of those. Just there's a zillion of them now. You've been doing it for a long time, but as far as pure income, what is your main income source right now? Is it the podcasting or?
No, not yet. I can't wait for the day to tell you that is the thing that pays my bills. You know what it's like. It's a tough market. So I am a social media manager full time.
Okay.
For my 9 to 5. I mean, it's relatively flexible. I work from home. I work for like a health and wellness company. So I really love it because it is something that I actually really stand for, and it's something I really enjoy. And I
you get experience that's going to help you.
Yeah, I'm learning a lot actually about marketing and business through that job that I wouldn't have really known. So it is helping me. And so I always say, like, I kind of have 2 full-time jobs because I have that full-time job and then the podcast is a full-time job. So it's a lot of work. But like, I come to realize that when you have your bills paid and you're not stressed about that, doing the thing that you love becomes a little bit easier. Because when I was younger, I was a little bit stubborn in that way, where I was like, I don't want to work for anybody. I'm just going to grind and make this work. And then it's like, you get stressed out because you're not, and then it doesn't become fun anymore. So I just realized, you know what, I'm just going to get a job like a normal person, make money that way, and still do what I love. And when this starts to blossom into something more where I see potential of money, then I can make that transition out. So my mindset has matured in that way a little bit, which doesn't mean that that's the right thing to do for everyone. It just felt right for me right now.
Yeah. No, and you're right. It does make the thing you love more enjoyable if it's not just a grind, because I mean, I help a lot of moms and dads escape W-2 life and move into businesses. And they get this idea in their mind that they just need to go ahead and quit their job and go full into it. And then they're miserable. The business fails. They have no money. And so I always kind of like what you're doing. I mean, just build it up until it's at a point where you can just stop and do what you love.
And I've been that before. I have quit my jobs multiple times because I was like, oh, this just isn't fulfilling my soul. Like, I'm just going to do and then it comes to a point where I'm like, oh man, I really want to go on this trip, but like, I should probably save my money. Oh, I want to go eat at this restaurant, but I should probably save my money. And I don't really want to live like that. I want to be able to just do the things that I enjoy. Is it easy to be working for someone and doing my own thing? No, but is it easier to do that than stress about money? Yes.
Yep. And that's the thing. It takes the stress off. I mean, so I try not to let people just quit the W-2 unless there's a really good reason, like they really need, like it's toxic or something like that.
Yeah, if you're miserable, I 100%, like if you are in a bad work environment, I have quit work environments that felt toxic, where I felt like I wasn't being heard, or like the money was just so bad that there was almost no point in being in it. So I am a big proponent of listening to your gut. Do what feels right, always.
Yeah. And so here's something on the, like a side topic. Did I see some music videos on your YouTube channel?
Yeah, it's another thing that I do. I guess my Gemini nature is to do a million different things, but I've made music in the past. I filmed music videos. For me, it was always a hobby. I never took it seriously as like, I'm going to become a musician. I just a fun creative outlet. And funny enough, it's been a few years without me doing music. I've just been so busy. And just in the last like 2 weeks, I started making a song, which is crazy that you bring that up, because I just missed it. I miss that creative outlet. That again isn't the same pressure as like my podcast, because I really want this to work and this and this. It's just like, I just want to make a song. It's fun.
Yeah. Well, the video, I was watching one of the videos right before we popped on. I think it was A Good Boy or something like that. And
Boy Toy.
I mean, the Boy Toy. Yeah. It was, that was the lyrics. It was very well produced. I mean, did you do all that, or you had a team that came in and did that?
Thank you. For the video, you mean itself?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I hired this one girl, shout out to Katie. She filmed it and directed it, and then I kind of put my creative vision, like I gave her my ideas, my vision board, like I booked that room that you see in there. Like I found a place in LA, I booked it, picked out all my own outfits and stuff, and then she came in and just kind of like created the scene and the vision. And then the 2 guys in there are just my friends. I was like, hey, can you come do me a favor? And like, that was it. And then she edited it, and it's done from there.
Yeah, no, I mean, really, it came out like ultra professional. It's as good as any music video anybody else has done.
Thank you. And you know what? My budget for that was quite little. So let me just say, it probably looks more than what I paid for it, because it was a favor. I said, this is how much I could give you. What can you do? And we shot it within it was like 4 hours or something.
Yeah.
We shot it. So.
Wow.
Thank you.
Stacks of fake cash in the background and everything.
Oh, that's all real. No, I'm just kidding.
That was from the closet at home.
Lots of fake money, yes.
Yeah. Yep. All right. So before I forget, how do you want people to get in touch with you? Do you want them to head to your YouTube, or what would you prefer?
Yeah,
What's the best way to get you?
If you wanna actually watch the podcast in full, YouTube is a great place for that. If you wanna just DM me and just say hi or ask me a question or something, Instagram's probably where I live the most. Jackie Hollywood on Instagram. I have TikTok, I have X, I have all these other platforms, but I would say slide in my DMs on Instagram is going to be your quickest path to me.
All right. Yeah, you're like me. I call it an ambassadorship. I've got an ambassadorship on all these different platforms, but for a lot of it's just reposting what I do on YouTube and Instagram.
Exactly.
Yeah. All right. So if somebody were to come up to you and ask, you're so awesome, I've seen your videos, I've seen your podcast, what are some resources you'd recommend that I get to be as successful as you in life? Books that are on your shelf, like a permanent spot, or podcasts. What would you recommend, your top 3 resources for people to follow?
I consume a lot of things. Books wise, I'm a big reader. Yeah. I'm currently reading, I just have so many recommendations that it's hard for me to pick one, but I'll tell you what I'm currently reading right now is Talk Like TED. So it's this guy who has done extensive research on all these different TED talkers, TED speakers, and has coached a lot of them and trained them. And he gives you the breakdown of what makes a really good speech. And I'm reading that because I think it's helpful just to A, do my podcast and host, but also B, to just have conversations with people and be engaging. Yeah. So that's really good. As far as podcasts, Jay Shetty is my number one. I'm a fangirl. Cool. Oh yeah, I love me some Jay Shetty. He is just so good at what he does, and he just has such a kind-hearted approach to everything. Yeah.
He almost makes you want to go off and do the monk thing too.
Seriously, I just really enjoy that. And then this one, maybe a little unconventional. I just think putting yourself out there and talking to people just in person. It's not necessarily a resource, but just tell people what you want in life, speak it out loud. And you never know who is sitting next to you on the bus or who's in the elevator. And I'm not saying walk up to a stranger and be like, hey, this is what I do, but if that happens, if that interaction happens, don't be shy to promote yourself and tell people what you do and who you are, because you never know. Prime example, my laptop cover, I got this custom basically sticker for my laptop, and it says dare to overshare with a picture of me. I was a little embarrassed to have it out in public because it's very vain looking, but I was like, this is free marketing. I'm sitting in a cafe and people are looking at my laptop, reading it, and people have come up to me and said, oh, what is that? Is that your show? And it's that's just one way to promote yourself. So
yeah. No, I agree. I've got my business logo. It's me riding on a bear, and on the other side of the laptop, that's the front of the laptop.
There you go.
It's like a conversation piece. And I love working in the coffee shop. That's where I get the best work done.
Absolutely. You just never know who you might meet. I'm such a big networker, and I was talking to my boyfriend about this yesterday. I'm like, all the coolest jobs that I've ever gotten in my life, including the social media job I have today, I did not apply for. They all came to me through a contact, through a DM, through somewhere. Every single opportunity that I have that I could check off on my list and be like, this was so cool, I didn't apply for it. It was just networking, or I typed something somewhere and someone saw it. So super big on.
Oh yeah. Just go out there and you just never know what opportunities are going to pop up. And like you said, the best jobs I've ever had are ones where I just went in and asked for the job. They might not have even had the job, but I went in and asked for it. Kind of like your radio thing. We're going to just name you something so you can stay here and work. Yeah.
How cool is that as a 21-year-old to be told we don't want you to stop your internship. We don't want you to leave, and at the time it was $11 an hour that they offered me back then. But you know what? It was my dream job at the time, and $11 was better than zero. So I said, okay. And I had to be there at 5 a.m. every single day. So
yeah. Oh, wow. That's dedication there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what's coming up next for you? What's coming down? Like any really cool guests coming up, or things you're going to be launching soon, or like a sneak preview for us?
Yeah, I mean, as far as my podcast, I switched like my set. So all the stuff that's currently out on my YouTube, with the exception of the very recent one, was all done in a different studio in where I live, but a different room. And then I decided to switch the rooms, and now I'm here and I'm getting some acoustic panels. So like I'm kind of redecorating my whole studio. So I'm really excited for and I got new equipment. So I'm excited for the quality of the show, like the video and audio quality. As far as guests, I have a bunch of cool people coming up. I have an author coming on that I enjoy. I just read his book called The Remembering, and his name is Peter, and I'm Peter Kennedy, and I'm going to have him on. So like that's going to be my first author that I'm getting on the show. So I'm trying to expand my guests from just like the entertainment world to more of like experts in certain subjects and things like that. Kind of how Jay Shetty does, because he does have celebrities come on, and I love those. Like Jay Shetty and Cardi B is one of my favorite episodes he's ever put out. But then he also has experts who are maybe less known, but they are so smart and have so much knowledge. And so I'm trying to do more of that. And then, like I mentioned earlier, music coming, very different from what I've put out before. It's going to be, I want to say better, but that's such a subjective term. But I want to say I'm focusing more on the craft of the music versus just being catchy and fun. Okay. So we'll see. Lots of fun things coming up.
You going to do a Beyonce and go to country?
You know what? Never say never. Not yet, though.
She did it well, so I mean, it's wide open there.
You just never know. I'm such an open person. Like if something feels right in the moment, I'm not gonna not do it because I think I won't be accepted or what will people think. I'm not like that. If it feels right, I'm putting out a country album. That's not happening right now, but we'll see.
And if it doesn't work, so what? You tried it. That's the main thing.
I would rather try 100 things and fail at all 100 than try 0 and not know what they would become. Because it's like life is too short and life is boring if you don't try stuff, and failure is just a part of life. I don't even look at them as failures. I just look at them as like, cool, what did I learn so I could not do that next time? You know, just try something different.
And it's not really a failure if you learn something from it.
Yeah, and like it's just, I mean, a lot of people say, oh, I wasted so many years on that, or I wasted time. It's like, did you waste time, or did you learn 10 new things, but you just haven't even applied them? So it feels like you wasted time, but if you make a list of all the stuff that you could have done differently and you tried again, maybe that wasn't ever a waste.
Yeah, exactly. I had a guest on the other day, and he said something like, if you're in the same place you were 5 years ago, what's the lesson you're not learning? So, I mean, that's a failure. If you're not learning the lesson, then
yeah, that's all right. That's good.
So as we close out, one last question. I get so many awesome entrepreneurs on here, and they all have, or most of them have tattoos. And so I've been getting a lot of questions like, I want to hear the story behind the tattoo and all that. And so do you have any tattoos that you have a really cool story that you could tell us? Like, you know, it's a prison tattoo.
Yeah, for sure. I have like, at this point, I probably have like, I don't know, 11 or 12 or something like that tattoos.
They're quite addictive.
Yeah, I know. Once you pop, you don't stop. I can talk about the most recent one I got, which was June 2024. June 2025? Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I think it was then. It was for my birthday. So I got this, and it's easy to show. Luckily, it's not. I don't have to take off anything weird. Yeah. So it's hard. It might be hard to read that, but it says abundance. But the B, instead of a B, you have 3 8s right there. And then I have like the hands with the third eye and kind of like this moon. And I have the Gemini constellation up there, which is my horoscope. Also, this red thing right here, this red lotus is glow in the dark. So that's fun.
Oh, wow.
So the story of the abundance with the 3 8s is in June of 2024, my birthday, June 2nd, 2024, back then was my year 8, which is like if you add all the dates, like all the numbers together, they turn out to be an 8. I'm also a life path 8. So like you can look up what your life path number is easily online. So I'm a life path 8. My favorite number has always been 8 since I was a kid without even knowing I was a life path 8. And my birthday, and I was turning 35 that year. So that ended up being an 8. There were so many 8s in my life that year. And 8 is the number of abundance. And abundance is one of my favorite words and concepts. So I was just like celebrating my birthday in Hawaii. And then I went ziplining with my friends. And you know how when you go ziplining, if you've ever done that, it shows you how many feet up you are per each zip line. Like you are 400 feet. So the craziest thing was there were like 7 different sort of zip lines. And at the very last one, which is like the highest and most pretty one, we go up there and it says 888 feet. And I was like, this, and it was on my birthday, on my actual birthday. And I was like, this couldn't be any more obvious to me that the universe is giving me a sign of abundance. Like this is going to be the best year of your life. So when I got home after that trip, I called my friend, Kimmy, who's a tattoo artist. She came over to my living room and she tattooed me with abundance. So
yeah, nice. See, that's why I love asking, because I mean, you always get some cool stories. Everybody's got a story with a tattoo.
Yeah, for sure. They're fun.
yeah, or at least they should have a story. If you don't have a story, you probably shouldn't have got it.
Yeah, I have a couple that don't necessarily have a story, but that like I could tell you why I got it, but it's not really like an interesting story. And those are probably the ones that if I were to ever get rid of any, it would probably be those. They're not like deep and meaningful, but they still live on me today. So
yeah, but that glow in the dark ink, that's the first one I've actually seen. Does it really work pretty good? Yeah,
it's pretty cool. It's like it's not glow in the dark. I always mix that up. It's when you have a black light on, it's UV.
Yeah. Okay.
So if you have a black light on it, it glows and it definitely works. Like if I'm at Disneyland in one of those rides where there's like a bunch of UVs and the glowing, like it glows. So it's pretty cool.
That's pretty neat. All right. So any final words, any advice or anything for anybody that's listening other than go follow your YouTube channels?
Yeah. Follow all my stuff. Do what brings you joy. Life is too short not to. If whatever you're doing right now is not bringing you joy, ask yourself why and what you could change about it and find what will bring that to you. And that may not have anything to do with money. It might. I think a lot of people tie money to happiness. It might have to do with money. It might not. But like, do what brings you joy. If you want to go hula hoop in the park tomorrow afternoon, then do it. Who cares what anyone thinks? And I'm just like so big on that. Bring out your inner child. Yeah. Perfect. That's why I do unedited podcasts, because I think some of the mistakes, especially when I make mistakes, that's some of people's favorite parts. Yeah, because you're human. Like nobody wants to hear an AI podcast that's like, hello, my name is. It's like we're just people. And sometimes I say things that I kind of want to backtrack and be like, oh, I didn't mean to say it like that. But it's okay because we're just people. And so I love that. I love unedited. I for the record, I also leave everything, all the audio exactly the way it is on my podcasts, no matter what. Yeah.
Oh, you kind of have to with the oversharing concept.
Yeah.
You want to get the best stuff in there.
Exactly. And it's like, I hope you don't regret what you said 2 years from now, because it's up in the cloud.
Oh, man. Especially if you got a dude like me on there and I'm an ugly crier. And so that.
I invite crying. I love it. I'm a crier in general. I'm very in touch with my emotions. And whenever somebody comes on and they cry, I cry right with them. So I love it.
Yeah. Well, thanks you for being with us, Miss Jackie, and I hope everybody enjoys your stuff, and especially watch the music videos. They are very well done.
Thank you. I appreciate it. This has been awesome. It's really fun to actually be on the other side of the podcast. I always ask questions, and this is actually kind of like nice and refreshing to just not think and just speak. So thank you.
Yeah, we get to know more about you.
Awesome. That was fun.
Hey, everybody, before we close out, first of all, I hope you enjoyed that podcast, whether it was an interview with an amazing entrepreneur or a business lesson for me. I sincerely hope that you gain something from it that you can use in your life moving forward. Before I leave, though, I need to mention that this podcast is sponsored by Lowe's Home Improvement Stores. I have become a Lowe's creator. It's a pretty cool thing because on this farm, I'm looking out the window right now and seeing all the things that I want to do around here. Most of these things I can do with products from Lowe's Home Improvement. And so I'm excited to be a Lowe's creator. If you want to check out some things from them and order some stuff and see my specially curated Lowe's storefront, you can click in the show notes. There's a link there for you. And I hope you build some amazing things. And hey, you know what? If you do, send me pictures. I would absolutely love to see the amazing things that you're building at your house using Lowe's products or anything else, really. I'm just curious. I want to know everything about you and everything about the cool projects you're doing because I'll be honest with you, I get some neat ideas for things I want to do at my house as well. All right, y'all take care. Thanks for listening.